Well, good morning. Here we are, another day at the office. Hey, what do you reckon? Brandon boy. And the skunk meister. What do you reckon? Skunk, you got the poops this morning. What's wrong with you? He said, I'm sleepy. Yeah, another day at the office. We've got 10 dogs down, and so that was 8 nights trapping. And I still think there's probably 4 or 5 dogs to be had on this line without too much trouble. They've just got to fall in the step. They are cunning. These are very educated dogs. 5 of the dogs we've taken are older dogs and pretty smart. One, I'm very sure they're the last one we got yesterday evening. It had been going along just scratching traps out as it went. Not right out, but just digging until he could see the edge of the chain or whatever else. And we got him in a very standard, a very, very basic pattern that I'd set on day one. And it had been sitting there. I hadn't touched it, I hadn't refreshed it, I hadn't done anything to it. The wind had blown over it, there'd been birds over the top of it, and that set was still looked good. I'd drive past and look at it and say, no, I think you're okay. Just left it. Had not seen a track around it at all. Then bingo, we picked a tough dog up in it. So it just goes to show. Well, we've come back up here to the top of this rise where we held in that dog and shot it a week ago. There's another dog living around here. I just haven't been able to nail it down. So this country was all pulled by chain many years ago. It's all regrowth. So it's thick now. You really only got your fence lines that are clear enough to get down. So if a dog's coming in at you, it can be here before you know it. Okay, I've howled about 3 times now over the last, say, 20 minutes. And no replies. That doesn't mean there isn't a dog here, it just means it's not replying. Sometimes you'll have a dog coming straight at you and silent, absolutely silent. So you've got to be on the lookout. But what I think I'll do is I'll head down here now, down to where we saw the yellow dog the other night, and that we held in and come in underneath us. So I've got those 5 traps set there. There's a cow there that looked like she was just about to calve yesterday, so I'll go down and check her, make sure she's okay, and yeah, give another couple of howls down there and see what we can come up with. Okay, the wind isn't fantastic, but I'm going to approach this dam the best I can and try a couple of howls. When I get over here, it's not worth the effort. The wind has turned around, is blowing straight up our clacker, straight down here. So all you do would be educate a dog if you did some howling or use the predator call, because they're going to smell you, hear the noise, and say that's what makes that noise. And then you've got a problem dog. So I'm better off just to drive through here, and we'll try somewhere else. You got to love your work, eh? Came along here to this sandy top. There's been no tracks here before. I've got a set of tracks over my my vehicle tracks from yesterday. Could even be 2 dogs. There's only one there, seems to be one. No, I reckon it's 2 dogs have come along there. And there's another track here. Maybe they've come past a couple of times, or maybe we've got a pack here that's just moved in, which would be good. Gotta love this job with these characters. You always feel you're getting watched around here. Now you probably remember how yesterday I came along to this, probably the last trap set on this line here, and the pigs had come through and they dug the whole thing up. So I pulled the 2 traps out because they dug both traps out. I come along here today and there's dog tracks everywhere. There's dog tracks. That's my vehicle marks from yesterday. That's where the pigs had dug everything up. And the dogs have been here, look, there, right around. Rats. I should have left them in one more night. Should have reset them. I thought the pigs would be back and wreck it all again. I've just set a couple more traps up on top of the hill and I'm out of traps. I've got 3 old whack traps sitting back at the camp I didn't bring with me because they've only got the small pan on them and I don't really like them. I like them with the bobcat pan. And I didn't throw them in this morning and I'm kicking myself because I'd reset here in this same place. But the dogs are on the line. We've got a lot of other traps up there. I wouldn't be surprised if we get up here and we've got a dog, you know, in one of these next couple of traps. Fingers crossed. Well, we came along to our next trap set and look what we got. Got ourselves a black dog, black and tan. Alright guys, you know the drill. Shoot him in the head, the old Bruno. Look what I've got on coming out of my gun case. What are you doing living in my gun case, Froggy? What are you doing? Come on, get on out of here. Come on. Get on out of here. Chancy? What we noticed this trip is a lot of the dogs in this area have got a lot more black in them than normal. A lot more dark. When I first came up here, they were all just yellow with white tips. Now they're nearly all saddleback this trip, or like this one here, black and tan. And this set here was a pretty simple one. And let's pull this branch to one side over it. It was just set. You can see where the trap was set. Just there. Simple stepping stick. I had that stick to one side here. A little bit of brush with a bit of fat on it there. And yeah, just very standard set, and it's worked. Black and tan. Yep, not real old. It's not young, but it's not real old. It's caught with a Victor. Front paw catch again. I'm just saying, Chancy. Have you been moonlighting, dude? Have you? Hey? Have you been sneaking around? Because these dogs look an awful lot like you, mate. Not guilty, hey? As I was saying yesterday, this dog trapping game contains a fair bit of speculation. Crystal ball gazing. So what I think has happened here, okay, it's my thoughts. I picked up tracks up on top of this rim here 2 days ago, and I made the remark then that it looked like 3 dogs at least, and they'd come along this rim for about a few hundred metres. I could see their tracks clearly. They missed the trap sets down here and they didn't get across to the ones at the other end. They missed the one up on top here by probably 50 or 100 metres. And I reckon they've dropped off this top and down into that valley there behind me. Strangely enough, over the other side of the valley where I've just come from, in the last 2 days, we've seen a big increase of tracks, and it looks like 3 or 4 dogs in a pack. One of them's now hanging on the front of the vehicle, and it's a really dark dog. I reckon, that's what I think here, that there's been a pack come off this top and they're doing a big circuit. Now, are they going to do like 7 days, 10 days? A lot of people say they're going like 3 weeks. Some people say that's 7 days. I think it really depends on the area and the dogs, on the pack of dogs. They will have a set pattern. They will come and go around this area, and it might be, every 2 weeks they get back to the same place. If they kill something or find, good food in an area, they probably will stay there longer. So that's why if you catch one and you disappear it, you take it right out of the area, usually they'll hang around and you've got a good chance to pick up a second or a third dog or more. That's where having multiple sets comes in. If you knew that they were going to be there at a certain time, I'd have 2s and 3s in every set pattern. So we've got a trap down here behind me, down at the base of that tree. I have not seen a track on this road since I came here, but when I first drove up here, there was a good sign here that had been like a week or so before. So now we're like nearly 3 weeks. It'll be interesting to see if something comes back in this area fairly soon. Here behind this log. Yep. So mate to the one we just got up the top. What's wrong with you, jamming? Good one, dogs. Oh. Yep, hindfoot catch. He's on the gut pile we put here. We slaughtered the beast for meat on the first night we got here. First night. We've got this one here, young male dog. Oh, similar, tri-coloured dog. Chancy, I'm starting to worry about you, bloke. Oh, I just about drove past this trap because I set this in. What was that? 9 days ago. We set this in, and there's been nothing, not a sign around it at all. Checked it every day, nothing. And I came past today and I'd hardly given it a glance, and then I realised that this big stick that I use as a drag had shifted about 10 metres, and the dog is there, just lying down, caught in the back foot, and looks like he's only just caught this morning. So he was just as surprised as I was. Chancy's going chasing ducks. Okay, this main road through here had a lot of tracks on it when I first came here, and then they disappeared. And there's a track back here now. Right there. Single dog. Okay, we've got traps up ahead of us. It's still intact, I won't even touch it. This one hasn't been touched. Nothing. You'd eat them, wouldn't you, skunk? Right, we're just approaching this sand patch where I set one in the side, and I can see a fair bit of scruff on the road there. So we might have something here. Yep, a dog just there. What's wrong with my magazine? Problem with my magazine on this rifle. Might have some sand in this thing too. It's so hard here now with the temperature is so high. The dogs are jumping in every dam and every water hole we come past, every cattle trough, and they end up jumping in here with sand on them, on their feet, and it's sand getting into everything. I think that's what I've got here. We must have some sand come in the action of this thing. And it's jamming, so I'll give it a good clean tonight. Let's go have a look at this dog. I could see the mark on the road and knew I had a dog. Yep. Yeah. Sarcoptic mange all over it. Look at his back feet. Back feet are terrible. Oh, what a skinny looking. It's not a young dog either, it's an old dog. Terrible condition. Yeah. So that worked. This was one of the ones that was dodging the skull set up here, and it worked. Number 13. This property here has got some of the best dams that you'd see around the place. Beautiful dams. But when the white fella first came here, there was hardly any water in this country at all. There's a few soaks and natural springs, and a few big rock holes in these creeks around here, but when things got really dry, there was nothing. Nothing at all. So now we're seeing things like ducks here. The duck numbers on this property are just extreme. There's so many, and you see them with clutches of ducklings. They're just, yeah, as good as I've ever seen. And we've got this big push to ban duck shooting. Queensland doesn't have any duck shooting anymore. And I've seen these ducks when their numbers have been extreme, and the water level will go down, the quality is down, there's a lot more ducks on the same area, and I believe what they get is botulism, and you'll see ducks die by the hundreds of thousands, just die and rotten on the water. Yeah, incredible sight to see. So people coming here, shooting a few ducks, turning it into an industry, turning dollars back into the region, taking a few, keeping numbers down a little bit when they need to be kept down, is not a bad thing. That's called management. It's called sustainable use management. And a lot of people can't understand that. They think if you lock something up, like these national parks now here, they think, oh, you lock it up, it's going to be beautiful. No, you lock it up and it gets worse. Oh, I've got to keep the cattle out of it. Yeah, well, you keep the cattle out of it and the grass gets up that thick that when you do get a fire, it burns old growth timber. It burns out scrubs and that have never been burnt, should never be burnt. Man has caused a lot of dramas and a lot of problems in this country. I'm not saying they haven't, but we've also got the ability to fix it and to do something about it. So that needs some sensible management, sustainable use management. Don't just lock it up.